All right, we're here once again with Jeff Mayweather. Jeff, you've been working with Roy Nelson. Have you changed anything in the way you prepared him for each of these different fighters?
Well, I mean, not too much. Just in the last two. The first guy, I think we had a good game plan for, but the second guy, he's more of a bully. So I think that with what I was watching, was that as long as he's coming forward, I mean he's a force, but the second you back him up, I mean he'll fold. And I think that Roy is aggressive. Roy's the type of fighter that can be aggressive, and that he would have had a good chance of beating this guy as well. This last guy is a very tall guy, and so and everyone knows Roy's specialty is overhand right. So that should be a perfect weapon for a guy that's such a tall guy. So didn't have to change it a whole lot, but we started working on it a lot more.
All right, now he's had 3 different opponents. How did Roy react upon hearing about these different opponent changes?
Well, I mean, basically, it's one of those things that I mean, you don't control the sport, so sometimes it happens. And basically, I mean, he was a little frustrated, but I told him, I said, don't worry about it. I said, because the thing is this, I said, that, them changing, you're changing, it's the same. I mean, you wasn't their original opponent, so what difference does it make? You got to be whoever they put in front of you.
And you've been working with him for a little bit now. How has he changed from when you first started working with him until now?
Well, I think in the beginning, Roy was one of those guys that was kind of combative, because I think he was kind of set in his own ways, and I kind of like to use psychology on him, and it kind of worked, because basically, I mean, it was psychology, but at the same time it was kind of the truth. But when you have a guy that's combative, what you have to do is you have to kind of stroke them a little bit, make them feel good about themselves and the things that they're already capable of doing. And once I was able to compliment him on the things that he was doing, it made it a little easier, and he was more receptive to take heed to what I was trying to teach him.
And you were pretty outspoken before about not being a real big fan of MMA. Has working with these fighters like Nelson and Mo and TJ Dillashaw, have working with them changed your mind at all, and are you starting to enjoy the sport a little more?
Well, I mean, I'm starting to become more of a fan of it, because now I have to study. I have to actually study the opponents that they may be facing and things like that. And so, I mean, acting is fun to me, because now, even with my fighters, I mean, I don't even, a lot of times with my boxers, I don't even study. I don't study tapes that much, but I mean with the MMA guys, because there's so many different facets to the sport. I kind of watch. I kind of watch that if a guy's a good striker, or if a guy's a good kicker, or things like that. If the guy's a good wrestler, grappler, whatever. So I mean, it's a lot different. So you've got a lot more things to watch for. So I'm educating myself.
And do you feel boxing is underutilized by most mixed martial artists?
I think so, but I think that's a growing trend now. I think that most MMA guys now they're understanding that they actually need to learn how, need to go out and actually get a probably not necessarily a well-known boxing coach, but at least a guy that does know boxing, that can actually help them a lot better with their striking.